Jalen Brunson, finalist for Teammate of the Year. Nick's going 8-6 so far, maybe 8-7 since he has been hurt. He's with the team, James, as I think Tom Thibodeau said that last night. And what I mentioned earlier in the week, the weekend kind of being a natural landing spot given how everything has progressed. I still think unless he suffers some kind of setback, the weekend will be the landing spot. And if I'm making a total guess, I would guess Sunday over Saturday. But we'll see how he does in practice on Friday. But it seems like he's making good progress. James, how do you see it?
Yeah, I think so too. Been around him the last few days. Seems to be in good spirits. Obviously, he's walking, but he looks spry. That's a dude that obviously takes his craft very seriously, and with that, the rehab process and making sure his body's right. He's cleared for basketball activities. When asked by Tibbs, does that mean practice? Tibbs said, I believe that falls under basketball activities. It's been our impression that he's with the team on a pretty not long road trip, but 2 games in 5 days, I believe. So he's here. To me, that's not nothing. Aside from like hearing stuff throughout the last day or so, yeah, I'm pretty confident he's going to practice Friday. More than confident. And whether he plays Saturday or Sunday is a question. And do you bring him back Saturday, and is he able to play back-to-backs? Do you want him to play back-to-backs so he misses the game against front of the home crowd and against Phoenix? Or do you just have him miss against Atlanta and then have him return against Phoenix, and then you have a week right there where you can have to try to build some momentum with your group?
Yeah, you laid it out perfectly, and that's why if I were to guess, I would guess Sunday. Andrew, the rust factor here for Jalen Brunson. It's obvious that whenever you don't play in games, you could do everything possible on the side, but there's no way to create the conditions of an NBA game conditioning-wise. How much rust do you think needs to be knocked off here for Brunson? He'll have, if he's back Sunday, I think 5 games, if my math is correct. So what are your thoughts on the rust factor here, rhythm, conditioning?
Yeah, it's always rest versus rust, right? And I think this rest will actually be good for him if he could get those 5 games under his belt. I think he'll also be eligible for all the awards, right? Which is important as well for him. So I like that. And I think he'll be fine going into the playoffs if he gets that amount of games. So it'll be good to see him back. The biggest thing is, defensively, how are they going to adjust with Cat and Brunson in the lineup together against some of these playoff teams? That's what I'm really looking at, and that's the adjustments that are going to fall on Tibbs. So I'm interested in seeing that. But when it comes to Jalen Brunson on offense, I have no worries at all, and I think the rest will actually be good for him.
Yeah, let's just go through it quickly. Cam, Payne, Deuce McBride, Deuce, groin injury, Cam, ankle injury. James, do you see them returning by the end of the week? Do you see them practicing Friday?
Yeah, that's a great question. Tibbs told us that they're both very close. Cam actually went through his pregame routine yesterday in Cleveland, so that's a telling sign. I don't know if Deuce did, but he is on the trip. So it sounds like to me that they're both close. End of the week sounds about right for me, and if not, both of them for sure, one of them. But the fact that Cam went through his pregame routine in Cleveland, I think, is a significant news. But yeah, I think they're going to be close to full health for this final week of the regular season, if not at full strength.
Yeah, it's something we're all keeping an eye on, and we talked about Karl-Anthony Towns and the knee, and James hit on Towns not really saying much that raised anyone's eyebrows, but another injury to keep an eye on there.